that cover issues that absolutely are pertinent and relevant to who we are. We're just really, really excited about this. This is my second time, I think, viewing it, and it gets better each time. It's just a really amazing film. And so some folks are going to come, get my eyes back on. Some folks are going to come and we're going to talk about this. This is kind of out of the order, but I'm going to ask us to actually, if you don't mind, we're going to stand all over this room and we're going to praise the person who's responsible for this. Come on, Jussie Smollett, just come on. Come on, y'all. Yeah. Y'all can do a little better. Ashe. All right, you may be seated. And the wonderful producer, Mona Scott Young, where are you? Come on. Yes, Mona. Woo. Yes. Brother Jabari, where are you? Come on, Brother Jabari is going to join us. He's alive, y'all. Yes. Come on, brother. Come on.
It's my first day.
And Teresa Smallwood, where are you?
Tressa.
Tressa. Let me say it right. Tressa. Come on, Tressa. Yes. Come on up. I'm going to ask a question or two. I'm going to take a little privilege here, and then we're going to turn it over to the audience. So y'all may be seated right there. Oh, absolutely. You know, I'm a professor at Clark Atlanta University. Okay. Yes. And I have my questions written out. So this question can go to any of you. What's different? What is different about this film from other LGBTQ films that you have seen? What's different about this one?
You know what? It's interesting. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for being here to moderate this for us. And I want to hear from you guys. Did you love the movie? I told you all it would be good, right? So I actually think that that's a question for the audience, right? You guys have seen these movies. We're biased. It's like asking me if my child is beautiful. Of course, my child is the very best, right? So it's hard to say, but you know, we can talk forever about how special this movie was just in the making of it, right? The union, the love, the family, the heart, the soul that we poured into making it. And so we hope that that's what the audience feels when they watch it. So if you ask me what's different, it's just the care, right, that we took with making this movie, with the representation in the movie. With the storytelling and making sure the production value was there. That's always been, for me as a content creator, a very important piece of it. Making sure that everything that we're delivering has the same value and the same, you know, level of storytelling that exists out there. So this is just a beautifully written, beautifully told, beautifully acted, beautifully directed movie. And well, thank you very much. But beautifully produced, right? So I hope that that sets it apart and that creates a standard for the movies that we see in this genre.
Absolutely. Right? Oh, okay. Then I'll ask, since my wonderful sister started, I'll ask each of you one question. So this question then, someone can grab this question, and that is, this movie highlights the sacrosanct nature of adoption and Black families. How does this reality expand familial constructs or introduce new familial constructs in the Black community? Okay, Jabari, you got it?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I was turning the mic off.
Okay.
I didn't even hear the question.
I gotta read it again. The movie highlights the sacrosanct nature of adoption and Black families. How does this reality expand familial constructs or introduce new constructs of the notion of family in the Black community? You changed the mic? Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I'll touch on that just as someone who has a lot of family members who've adopted children, and we've been through that process, and we know how difficult it is because you have to check all of these different boxes in terms of, you know, are you married? You can't just have a mate in the home. You won't be able to adopt. There's the whole, you know, interracial adopting, like every box you have to check it. And so when you think about this, in the Lost Holiday, it's happening more and more, and it gives people hope. You know, there are a lot of children who need to be adopted and to have loving parents who want to adopt you, but you can't. Yeah, and so I think that we give people hope. We open up a new door. We say that it's okay, and it's a good thing.
And I think also the subtext of this movie is all about family, not just the family that you're born into, the family that you adopt, the family that you make, the people that you meet, that you connect with, right? So that is interwoven throughout every relationship dynamic that exists within this movie. And so we're hoping to galvanize all of these different groups because it is a representation of what family is, right?
Absolutely.
Just coming together, finding your person, the person that, you know, you love and who loves you unconditionally and unapologetically. And I think we're showing that there are different constructs to that.
Brother Jabari, my question to you is.
You got that microphone ready?
Yeah.
Okay, what's happening? Okay.
The movie explores the depths and dimensions of love in all its manifestations. How did you feel in this movie about the love scenes?
Love scene. What's up, Atlanta?
Morehouse man right there.
Yeah, y'all was a little
We'll
quiet.
take it. We'll take it.
Y'all a little quiet. The love scenes in this film. I feel like the love scenes in this film it allowed. Actually, it was multiple representation of love scenes in this film, and that's the beautiful part about it. So you've seen love exist in so many ways, in so many areas, in so many spaces.
Yes.
So, concluding, we saw that love don't look no different, right? So just love who you love. Love unconditionally. And family is key. But even more though than family, your person is key. Because ain't nobody gonna rock you like your person, you know? Did I answer that?
Yes.
I thought so, right?
Absolutely. And Jussie, for you, what does this movie teach about the complicated nature of forgiveness?
Take this minute.
That we have all had to forgive and that we have all had to be forgiven. I think that what we were trying to do with this film is we were trying to do exactly that. We were trying to show that it's never too late to make amends. It's never too late to say the things that you need to say. And that forgiveness and grace are so important within our families, within our relationships, within our community. So it was something that was really important, and it was something that we wanted to portray, so desperately wanted to portray, the idea that even when someone is gone, those things that you wish that you had said prior to them leaving,
That's good.
you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But you didn't. I made peace with my father after he passed. And that wasn't easy to navigate, but I made peace with him after.
Yes, sir.
And so that was work that I had to do within myself, but I know absolutely that I spoke to him. And that's why also going further, it was so important that Jabari's character, Damien, did not appear to be a ghost, but instead appeared to be a real human being that she was sitting there and she was able to talk to.
That's
a
ancestral.
real presence. Yes.
Yeah, that's
Because we talk to our ancestors all the time,
Absolutely.
you know? And I know factually, I had very real, out loud, call me crazy, some people do, but I had very real conversations with my father after he passed.
Yes.
And if I had more healing conversations after he passed than when he was alive.
Yes.
but I still had those conversations, and I was not alone in those conversations. He was there. So I think that that's what we wanted to tell, that's what we wanted to show, is that you have to do the work, and you have to, not for anyone except yourself, is forgiving other people and forgiving yourself.
Absolutely. And I have to say, that was really probably one of my favorite parts of this movie, because when Jabari showed up, after he had stepped into eternity, I loved this notion that you don't get finished with a person after this physical life, right? That the relationship is not done. There's still things that have to be worked out, still things that have to be worked through. And sometimes the ancestor will show up to remind you that we ain't finished yet.
Right, because you're still here.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You gotta continue to live. So
Yes.
you have to continue to live. You gotta figure out how to do that.
Yes.
And you still have all of this anguish, all of this pain surrounding you and just embedded in your soul, in your spirit. That can hold you down.
Yes.
And that's
And for what black people believe, they're still here too.
Yep.
You know.
But one of the things I think we have the hardest time with is forgiving ourselves, right? For the things that we've done, we beat ourselves up. We don't allow ourselves to move past it. And in order to really fully receive the love that is out there for us, we have to start with giving that love to ourselves. And that begins with forgiveness and acceptance and giving ourselves grace.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's something that we saw Cassandra do so beautifully. And look at how she was able to find love once she had found a way to forgive herself for everything she felt she had not been to her child.
Absolutely.
Right? So I think that that's one of the most important lessons to take away from this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I feel like we also saw the legacy and purpose on how much you can affect people while you're there, and how much you can affect them when you're gone.
Absolutely.
And how much of a mark you can leave, good or bad.
Right.
So make the most of the time that you have with these people.
Yes.
Because that may be your last.
Yes. And the last thing I'm saying in turn to the audience is, I thought a powerful point of this movie too was Cassandra's relationship, of course, with Ariel, right? Because ultimately, what we pass on to the next generation, right, becomes the legacy of the possibility of who we are collectively, right? And that ability to construct a self and a being and a holism that we can then give to a child, right, means everything. Like, who cares what they get for Christmas, really? Right? Really, the point is, can we give them holism, right? So that what they carry into the future is the memory of a powerful and a beautiful and a holy and a fastidious people. You know what I mean?
And that's a trauma of the past.
That's right. That's right. And we're all full of trauma. You know, we got that. But we're full of triumph too.
Yes.
You know. And so the same person who's problematic is also salvific.
Yes.
You know. I'm so crazy. So we're gonna take questions from the audience. If you have a question, throw your hand. I see this brother here, this wonderful brother here, and we'd love to hear from you. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, so in the movie, it addressed the stigma that we have that black people don't go to therapy. And I believe the movie said that we would go to church or something like that. Why do you feel that being spiritually inclined is not enough, and why is it necessary to talk to someone about your problems?
I don't think that being spiritually inclined is not enough. I actually think that it is, but I also think that you have to decide for yourself what part of that being spiritually inclined, what part of that work you have to do for yourself. And for me, a part of that work is therapy. And I celebrate it and I'm open about it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody has to share that same point of view. You know, I think that that's a part of being righteous, that's a part of being free, is actually saying how I do things for myself, and you can do that or not. I personally have found that therapy has been a tool for me because I don't know that I necessarily had healthy coping mechanisms. And that has helped me with coping mechanisms. So it's almost like some people can go to the gym and work out and do their workouts great. Some people need a trainer. You know what I mean? And for me, I need that mental, spiritual trainer to help me through some things. And sometimes it's helpful to talk to people that are not necessarily invested in who you are and what you do. That's all it is. I really feel like I'm not a pastor. I'm not a preacher. I respect them so much. I'm only here to hold up a mirror to people and just be like, so what part of that movie was you? Like, what part of Cassandra is y'all, and what part of Jason or Damien or whomever is y'all? But it's just like looking at a piece of art. You gotta get what you get from it. So I do think that for me, it's a part of my spiritual feeding, but that doesn't mean that it necessarily has to be their way for everybody.
So which part would you say was the hardest for you all cultivating your character? What did you have to be mindful of? Because I believe as artists that we somehow get therapy through our art. So what pieces of that would you be able to say was therapeutic for you, or that you remained mindful of throughout the entire project?
For me, this whole thing is a tribute to my mother. And I tell this story often because we've been on the promo road, so if y'all heard this story before, sorry. But my mother in the 70s married, as a black woman, married into a non-black family. And it wasn't always easy for her to navigate that, you know? And I look at, and then I saw after my father passed away almost a decade ago. And after he passed, although they were no longer together, I watched her and my grandmother, his mother, who had been estranged, bond. And that's really what inspired me to tell this story. And then to add it, for me, as a gay black man, so many of my mentors that are 55 and above experienced, particularly the ones that are like 60 and above, like they really experienced, particularly in the 80s and the 90s, losing loved ones, losing partners, losing life partners due to the AIDS pandemic. And due to that, they were extracted from their life. They were extracted from their legacy. They weren't allowed to go into the room. They weren't allowed to go to the funeral if the parents or the family were involved. That type of stuff are all of the things that affect me. And so to create this story, and to create the character of Jason, I just wanted to tell the story of, yes, it's painful, yes, it's sad, but it's also hopeful. And it's a thing of like, we need each other. We're so much more alike than we're not. And I say that as we. When I say we, I'm talking about black folks, particularly. And I love everybody, I support everybody, but I'm talking to us. This is for everybody, but it's for us by us. And so for me, it's a thing of, I want us to recognize that we've been kind of operating under this conglomerate, like black is the conglomerate, and then everything else is a subsidiary. But I'm black, you are black, we're all black, and we have this experience as black folks, so I'm tired of us separating ourselves and breaking it down based on these things that we are. We're so much more alike, and that is what I was trying to do with the character and with the film. So I hope that we got that across. I don't even know if that answered your question, Sean, but what I do know is it was a good answer.
Okay. Well, that answered the question I was going to ask. Yes. But I was glad to see you address the formal adoption process, because traditionally in black families it's been more of an informal process where people get together and sometimes we get a lawyer involved, sometimes not. And it's been a very difficult thing to navigate, and I was really glad to see you address that issue.
Thank you. That's Dave Bridgefort's grandma. We love her.
Hi, how y'all doing? I just want to say I love the entire movie. Because one thing for sure, as a 70-year-old woman, I've been through those things that you talked about. I was in the 60s and the 70s to watch my family, some of my friends pass away, or things that I did in my life and couldn't say, I'm sorry. But the most thing that affected me was the love the love that you guys showed in this movie that should have hit each and every family within this theater. As being black people, which we don't really understand that therapy part, that love of God, that Christianity that we have, it's there. But God gives us those things. Man has made therapy and different things for us as not just white people, but black people to go to. Therapy, I do therapy every week because I have to, not because I want to. It's because it's something that I need to keep carrying me through my life. And I want to say the Lord's holiday gave me holiday for the new year.
One more question. All right.
Project. Go ahead. Honey, I can talk.
Yes. Thank you. I just want to say to you, Jussie, I've watched him for probably the last year and a half, 2 years. We've been working on his album. His single comes out tomorrow, My Mind. I am so honored to be here. I love you. And I just wanted to say I'm proud of you.
I also want to piggyback off of that, saying thank you, Jussie, for, creating space for us. You have continuously been a leader, and here we go. This is. Is this our third project together? Jussie originally cast me for B-Boy Blues as DC. The Trailman, oh yeah. And the third one is The Lost Holiday. And I must say, there's no other space that I feel fulfilled as an artist. He brings so much professionalism and so much craftsmanship, and it does nothing but inspire you to be better. So I just want to piggyback off of your moment and say thank you so much, and I love you so much.
Last question.
Hi.
Good evening. I just want to say I really enjoyed the film. I could relate. I've been going through a transition myself. I was adopted into a black family, me and my twin sister. And I just recently lost my mom, my dad, and my brother. So I'm trying to going through this, trying to forgive myself, trying to build that relationship with my biological mom. But every time I look at it, I'm like, ugh. I wouldn't be in this predicament if it wasn't for you. But, I'm listening to what you said, you gotta allow yourself grace and things like that. But I'm grateful for films like this because I could be like, dang, that's my life. And they don't even know me. So I just want to say thank you for showing me on the film without even knowing me.
I know you said one more, but I had to say something. First of all, I am extremely proud of all of you. Jabari used to be my assistant back in the day, so I'm definitely happy to see how far he's come. Production assistant, I think he hired himself. But to see my sister, my sis Mona, who I knew from Violated Days, to see Jussie and Megamind come together as a powerhouse of Black folks doing some amazing things and telling stories that help change lives. As a mental health advocate and filmmaker, we have to tackle all of these subjects.
That's right.
Because that's why we're losing so many people, because we are afraid to talk to people. And so to see it in film like this, which is absolutely beautiful, Jussie, it looked like you also drew for some old films the way you shot it, so we have to talk about that because it was stunning. Congratulations, I love you, and I'm just so proud.
Thank you. Dr. Black, final words?
Yes, you know, I was sitting here thinking about just the long history of Black filmmaking and the ways in which, in this moment, folks like Oscar Michaud would be like really, really proud and really moved, right? And folks who over the years may have had the idea to do something like this, but didn't have the social and cultural context, right? And Jussie, what I'm going to say to you, Jussie and I are brothers and partners in so many ways. The thing I think that's very important is to be unapologetically authentic, right? To give people permission to be themselves without other people's sanction, right? To give people permission to stand up, to stand out, to speak aloud, and not to have to argue for validation, right? If other people don't agree, it really doesn't matter, right? It's perfectly and absolutely fine, because some gems can only be seen by certain eyes, you know? And so we're appreciative of this, and we have an audience, and we really have a world that's going to get so much out of this. And my sister up here, who was saying this film was for her, what that made me think about in forgiveness, which my sister here was saying, is this idea that sometimes we have to be careful, because sometimes a parent's job was only to conceive you. A biological parent's job was only to conceive you. That does not mean that they were even supposed to rear you. They were just supposed to get you here sometimes, right? So sometimes we ask people for things that's really beyond their spiritual contract, right? But I said that, sister, because the parents you had were the parents you were supposed to have, right? So to get to know your spiritual mother now is a good thing, but really you may have to mother her. That's why she couldn't mother you, right? But understand that the parents you had gave you all that you need in order to move on and press right on through in life. And in many ways, I feel like this film is telling us that, right? That sometimes what you get in life is not necessarily what you want, but it is what the spirit contracted you to have, right? Because Ariel, she got the parents she's supposed to have, right? And she got the grandmother she was supposed to have, right? Though it's not the one many people would have chosen, right? And so I'm just really, really thrilled, and we as an audience are really thrilled, and we're happy about that. And so if y'all don't mind, put your hands together one more time. Come on. Put them together good. Clap it up real good for the Lost Holiday. Come on.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Black. Thank you, guys. This new for the cast and crew. So you all, we have an after party starting now at Virgil's, Midwest.
Dave, can I just cut in for 1 second?
Of course.
Just two things really quick. We open Friday. This Friday. Not next Friday, not the Friday after, not the Friday after next. We love that movie. We open this Friday. And we pray that you will tell all your friends, tell your mama, your daddy, your aunties, your uncles, the whoever. Just tell everybody. And please follow us on social media, The Lost Holiday, 2 L's. Please just let it be known. Let it be known. On top of that, I really want to thank Gilead one more time. The work that you do in the HIV/AIDS spectrum, we're so grateful for you, and thank you for holding it down for us. So thank you. The Lost Holiday is Friday, y'all. And also on top of that, please vote. Please vote. Hi, April. Thank you, y'all. God bless y'all. And Dr. Daniel Black, I love you. You're a God.
After party. Okay, so everyone, the after party is at Virgil's. West Midtown, 822 Marietta Street Northwest. If you come to me, I have an asset. I can airdrop it to you. I can text it to you. Starts now, ends at midnight. Come have drinks with the cast and crew.
Freddie just
Turn up.
sitting in my lap.
We thank 1G for being so benevolent and having us and hosting us. We love them so much.
Oh my God.
Yes. All right, everyone.
Hey.
Yeah, I got about 12 minutes before we gotta get out of this room. 12 minutes.
I feel like that.
You need the asset, who needs a flyer? Virgil's West Midtown, 822 Marietta Street Northwest. From now until midnight. Virgil, 10 to 12. Virgil, West Midtown, 822 Marietta Street Northwest. All right. The Lost Holiday.
Just say, hey, the phone number. It ain't gonna work. Yeah, the one, I'll say that the content she really, I'll get the one that you said, because we want to start editing tonight. And I'll make sure to have the, fix the phone. Yeah, right, you really do. You really do. I'll see y'all tonight. Yes, I will go live a little later. I gotta close this out. I'll see y'all. All right.